call this City Hall meeting to order and with asking Pastor Betts for a word of prayer.
We jump out with it. Gracious Father, we do thank you and praise you for another beautiful and such a blessed day. Thank you for life, health, and strength. We ask your continued blessings upon the city of Goodlow as well as other cities around the world. We ask your blessing be upon this meeting. Help us to do what we need to do and to do it with honor and with your praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 Mayor Douglas,
Present.
Pro Tem Betts,
Present.
Councilman Cotton,
Yep.
Councilwoman Torres, present, and Councilman Baxter.
Present. Yes, we do.
City of Goodlow, 201 State Highway 309, Goodlow, Texas. Minutes for September the 9th, 2025. State of Texas, County of Navarro, City of Goodlow, Texas. On this 9th day of September 2025, the City Council for the City of Goodlow convened a regular session at its regular meeting place, that being the city office at 201 State Highway 309, Goodlow, Texas. The meeting was open to the public and said notice being posted as prescribed. There in attendance were the following members: Mayor Douglas, Councilman Betts, Councilman Baxter, Councilwoman Littleton, absent. She later came, so I didn't put that on there. But anyway, Councilwoman Torres and Councilman Cotton absent. The meeting was called to order at 6:30 p.m. by Mayor Douglas, who asked for a prayer by Councilman Betts. Afterwards, he asked for the reading of the last minutes by the secretary. He then asked the council if there were any necessary corrections. Councilwoman Littleton made a motion to accept the minutes as read, and Councilman Betts seconded the motion. All was in favor, so the motion carried. Public comments. Mayor Douglas opened the floor to the public for any public comments on the agenda item. One of the guests spoke from Global Life Insurance. She told the council she worked for a company that has great benefits, and she would be here to talk to anyone who wants to know more about the company. Also, she has a number that she can be reached to set up an appointment to meet at their convenience. Chatfield water rate. Mayor told the council Goodlow received a water rate increase from our water supplier that we have to pass on to our customers. He also told the council that Currents received the rate increase from Forster County. Pro Tem Betts told the council he feels we have to pass the rate increase to our customers. He told the council he would like to make a motion to raise the water rates to $1 per 1,000 gallons because everything is going up and the water is the only thing that has increased on the bill. Councilman Baxter seconded the motion. All was in favor, so the motion carried. Budget 25-26. Mayor told the council the profit and loss statement is in the office for the city council to review. Councilwoman Torres asked the mayor if there's going to be a budget workshop or is that something that's done in the office. Mayor Douglas told the council the ladies in the office get the budget ready for the council to look at and critique it before it's adopted and approved. Councilwoman Torres asked if the lawyer was going to review it or would the auditor look at it. She asked if this was standard or is it just for small towns. Mayor asked the council for a motion to adopt the budget. Pro Tem Betts made a motion to adopt the 25-26 budget, and Councilman Baxter seconded the motion. All was in favor, so the motion carried. Marker. Mayor told the council he was asked to put the Goodlow marker on the agenda because we received an email from an Angela Sutton requesting the council minutes where the Park High Association was given permission from the city to put a marker on city property. Pro Tem Betts told the council we got together as a group, not as a city. not as a city council, to restore this building. So he feels this building being historical, a mark is only befitting. Pro Tem Best made a motion to place a marker on the Goodlow property, and Councilman Baxter seconded the motion. I was in favor, so the motion carried. Councilwoman Therese told the council if we already approved this, she doesn't see why there is an issue. Councilwoman Therese said she feels the person is having an issue because it wasn't placed on the agenda by placing a marker on the city of Goodlow property. Maintenance. Pro Tem Best told the council our roads are pretty bad and we as a city council needs to keep them maintained. He told the council he would get with the commissioner and reach out for some help to get the streets dragged. Meeting adjourned.
Can we get a motion for the minutes?
I offer motion that we accept our secretary's minutes as stated. If there be any necessary correction, we call it down.
Second that motion. Motion has been, made by Pastor Vince. The minute stands approved as read, and seconded by, Mr. Baxter. All in favor? None opposed? That motion will carry. The minutes are approved as they were read. We want to open it up for public comment. See our friend Ron Helms in the building. What's going on?
I guess my only question would be any updates on the audit, financial audit of the city?
I don't personally have an update for you. Any council know anything about an audit? Pastor Vince, know anything about an audit?
More than we have been reaching out with Ms. Blackwell. We want to see whether she's willing to do an audit for the city of Goodlow. That's where we stand, waiting to hear from her whether she's willing to do a audit for the city of Goodlow. If not, then we may have to try to check on another auditor.
All right, cool. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Definitely want that. Tonight is basically an update on what we've got going on with our operations. As you can see on the agenda, it says operation update. And we just recently were able to actually do something that we've been saying we need to do. And that is, since the infrastructure is older than me, the infrastructure got put down in 78, right? With our water, with our,
Basically,
or was it 83?
well, actually, we started in 78. I think probably around about 83, most of the lines were put in.
Okay. So,
They started putting them in.
yeah, we're looking at about 40 years plus, so, or close to 40 years.
More than 40.
More than 40. So, one thing that we talked about is having parts on hand so that every time a leak happens, we're not having to just turn off the main switch for such long periods of time to escape from or to stop a whole bunch of water being lost. And Pastor Bess, if you don't mind, just tell us about the parts we was able to get.
Well, we did get some, we spent probably nearly $500. Everything is so expensive now. Of course, even we owe Kearns a couple of sleeves. And these sleeves, brass sleeves, cost you $37 each. So we owe them a couple of them. We also pay, normally Chatfield is basically our supplier. They've been over the years, they told us if we needed a part, they stock a lot of parts, so, and usually they let us have them for the price that they buy them, with their discount. But then we went over KU has put in a commercial water sewer system parts store over there, so which is closer to us, and we can handle that quickly if we need be to get other parts that we need. But as of now, of course, we also, Kearns have been very good about loaning parts that we pay back. So as of now, we owe them probably a couple of sleeves that cost $37. Of course, now a water hookup valve to a meter is now they're 80. I want to say $82 for. Of course, we can get them at $82 over at KU, but we've been paying Chatfield $85, I believe, for a valve to hook onto a meter. And sometimes, like some of the vacant lots whereby old meters been hooked to it for years, some of them go bad and they come loose, kind of to say the least. But now you can turn around and put a new valve on where it comes loose from one of the old meters. And of course, and that's what you all did over here.
Behind.
Yeah. From Miss
Vernon.
Miss Vernon. But then we put that one, got that one, of course, and we had a leak just this past week. Had 2 or 3 different. The guy that hooked those, we didn't hook those up with the blue pipe. Blue pipe, even though it's good stuff, but it's over the years, it get lots of little splits. So we had covered that particular leak, one leak up over on Park Drive. And of course, we noticed it wasn't getting dry. But anyway, on this particular blue pipe, other little splits had come in that same pipe. So what we did with it, we went in there, and because it's such a long way from the main to that particular house where the meter's at. So we went in and spliced it and put in some of the black roll pipe in there with 2 sleeves, which do take care of that leak, that particular leak. And we just covered that up, I think, last Friday, I believe. But as of now, we should have no leaks per se, so everything should be pretty well in order. One of the things that we have 2 particular pumps and motors that pulls our system. We've been running pump 2, which we call pump 2, for probably nearly a year now, because pump 1 makes so much noise. Now, it is a backup pump just in case, but I do feel like one day we need to take the time and find out whether we got a bad motor or whether we got a bad pump bearings. So what we do is, since we often running off of this one, we probably need to go in and find out what we need to do in order to make sure that if that other pump goes out, then we know this other pump is already bad, but it will pump. So, but the thing of it is, you don't know whether it may lock up, because when you got bad bearings can lock it. So, as of now, hopefully we're in pretty good shape. And hopefully we'll be ordering chlorine probably this weekend. By the
So-
end of this week.
I've been getting a lot of people sending messages about too much chlorine in the water. What do we do about that? Because I know we gotta have. I know we're passing our when they take the water to get tested to Tyler, everything's coming back right.
Everything's.
Is there an adjustment we can make where?
Well, the only thing, like, now, usually you only have about 2 or 3 people that's normally on First Street. For some reason or another, First Street, 2 houses on that street,
Okay.
of course, but when you got 2 people with 100 and some people, you only got 2 people complaining about your chlorine.
Made in that area.
In that area, they're all in the same area. thing that you can do is, of course, we've cut down on our chlorine, but you don't wanna cut too far.
Right. Cause you still got it.
You gotta
Pass.
maintain.
Yeah.
And usually when you send chlorine for water to tidal, you either want 1.5 or more residual, so that all of your bacteria have been fought. You gotta fight your bacteria, and then you always got a residual, because when you don't have a residual, when you get to tidal, you're gonna have a bad sample.
Okay.
If you got a bad sample, then the state gonna turn around and say, notify your customer. Well, you don't wanna notify these people out here that they got too much chlorine in their
Man.
water. They got bacteria in their water. So and then you're gonna have to, everybody gonna have to start boiling water. So you do what you got to do. Sometimes you try to cut your chlorine far enough down
Yeah.
to keep them from complaining.
Yeah.
Is there a max residual that's allowed? In other words, what's the level for too much?
Well, you can always have a residual of 3.
3, okay.
And so, like I say, since we never shoot 3 to top, it's always gonna be 1.5, sometimes just a 1. But you always want to be up in that area.
Gotcha.
Because over the years, when we try to keep it way down, you get bad sample.
And that's when the boiling water.
Boiling water, then you're gonna have to pay. So if you,
That's a fine.
yeah, then you're gonna have to keep rechecking. Sending more water to the top, more water to the top. You know, each time you send, that's some more cost to the city. So anyway, we try to appease the people as much as possible.
Whenever we do that, whenever you do that for chlorine time, should we, if you can tell one of us, or we can go around and let someone know that if you're getting too much chlorines in your water, and you need to use it for like drinking water or something, boil it first and then take care of that. I mean, that's just the same
My
thing
thing
over
of it
here.
is, if a person start complaining, we'll go pull samples at that place.
Yeah.
And if it is too high, then I come back and cut it down for everybody. But you still gonna have to try to make sure you,
Pass it. Yeah.
and then you tell them we do, the state have samples come out every quarter from out of Curo Lab. Curo Lab comes quarterly, pulls samples on First Street, pulls samples from the tower. And then they in turn send to the river authorities, to, who's the main folks that we trying to satisfy?
TCEQ.
TCQ.
Texas Commission.
Yeah, and so to make sure all of that's also is clear as well. We want to thank Brother Jeffrey.
Yes,
just
sir.
And then also the county, usually to get a guy to come dig our water line, you're gonna at least pay at least around about $500. That's just basically to dig it.
We gotta get an offer for brothers.
Yeah, but I mean, that don't count for parts and nothing like that.
Well, just did.
Yeah, so Jeffrey, the county has been letting Jeffrey come dig our lines where we don't pay for the digging.
We gotta.
Now I've been trying to get him hamburgers every so often.
Man, we gotta get him some cash
But
money.
anyway, no, so we can't give them cash. But we just thankful that they, Commissioner Eddie Perry has made everything so available for us. And we appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Since y'all talking about maintenance as well, we know that sooner or later we're gonna have to perhaps hire a crew to go and really do some trimming around our ponds. We do run what you call a lagoon system Stewart Pond, which we have 3 ponds. Of course, when they raised the levees on them, it made it kind of difficult to really just mow it because they raised those levees up a little bit too high, especially on that back side. Even though you can do it, but you gotta be young and strong to push mowers and things down, like keep the bushes and all that trimmed out. So we probably gonna need to hire someone to perhaps.
So I've had 3 different people say, well, 3 different companies say they're gonna put a bid in, but nobody has actually went out there, sized it up and said, hey, this much. So, hopefully by our next council meeting, we'll actually have some numbers. We can say, hey, this person says this much, this company says this much. So I'll follow up with them and see why we ain't got a bid, but I know it's at least 3 different guys with equipment saying, hey, we'll take a look at it.
Just a quick question on what, kind of backtracking a little bit to when y'all were talking about, like, you were explaining the process of what you did to fix the leak over there on Park Avenue. And that kind of brought a question to my mind. When y'all fix leaks, is there like any sort of like record of this is what happened, this is when we fixed it, all that sort of thing? Just basically a summary of what happened.
There's no
Not
record.
really.
Yeah, we
They-
do that.
They,
We
they,
keep records of every meeting.
y'all do keep.
We keep records.
Okay, like, you know, cause I was, when you were talking about the way the leak was fixed, I was thinking that would be good to know what you did for anybody
Well,
else's
yes,
information
yeah.
in the future, how that leak was fixed. I know you mentioned that you used blue pipe and that you spliced it, and then I kinda got lost after that, and it was like, okay, then you put like a sleeve over it,
We put
just,
a
you know.
couple of sleeves in it. We
Yeah.
put a couple of sleeves. In other words, it's a long line from our main to where the meter is.
Mhm.
So rather than dig that whole line up and replace that whole line, we built up a portion of it where the bad pipe was, put in new pipe, and then hook sleeves to each end.
Okay.
And of course, this is just 3/4 lines. Now, when you come to 6-inch lines, it's a whole different ballgame. Say you get a leak in a 6-inch line, sometimes you can put a saddle on that 6-inch line, just depending. If you have to rehook or take out a section, there are several ways that perhaps you may end up having to do that. We sometimes, you don't like to do it, they got what they call knock-ons, 6-inch knock-ons. Even though you don't like to do this, because it's not really, per se, real strong to fix. But it's a cheaper way to put on knock-ons, rather than going there and putting in a 6-inch metal clamps and hookups. So probably knock-ons probably with, there's a whole, probably just estimate, say $100. Okay, then you turn around and say you got metal sleeves to go in on 6-inch line, you're probably talking $150 each ends, so. You know, so-
Okay, there's a lot to it. That's why I was asking if there's
Yeah.
like any, basically, you know, some way to kind of keep track of, this is how we fix this leak, and, you know, something like that, a summary. And then it
Yeah.
kind of sounds like maybe, I don't know if y'all have like an inventory list, especially now that you're trying to accumulate materials and
basic-
having basically an inventory list. of-
Yeah, basic material that we're stocking is basically for meters and 3/4 inch lines. That's basically what we're trying to stop. But when it come down to the 6 inch, you never know what you're gonna have to fix it with. Now, we had a leak on our 6 inch line up here on Elm Flat. Some months ago, we had put in a 6 inch elbow. We put in a piece of a 6 inch pipe, with various clamps. Just different things for different situations.
Gotcha. You are a wealth of knowledge, Pastor Betts. If only we could get it all written down.
And of course, maybe different places, different position, different things, you do different things. And most of them you never know until you dig down there.
Right, well, that's kind of where I kind of was going at, is if you have an idea what the last repair looked like, you have an idea what you're getting into.
Maybe,
I don't know if that, maybe, yeah, you never know until you dig in, right?
Yeah, you never know till you get down there too late. Most of 3/4, a lot of our 3/4 inches down, 2 foot, whereby you got 6 inch line down 5 foot. So until you get down there,
Right.
you guessing. But you always hope you guess pretty well right. Now, but we still need to look for more valves. This is one of the things that we talk about quite often, is being able to cut off streets. Just
Versus
cut
the
off-
city.
Rather than cutting in the city almost. But until we locate a lot of these valves, rather than going around trying to find them,
And water just
water is
yeah.
pouring out that you spending, paying money for, so you come out here and try to cut that pressure down.
Yeah.
And once you cut that tower pressure out, you're losing less water.
I was gonna ask you, I remember when they came through putting the water pipe, the sewage pipe through here, did they give us a blueprint on that?
Mhm.
You got a blueprint on that?
It's a big blueprint right in there. One thing that's another thing that we may also need to also consider having that redone, because the paper's getting, you don't like to turn it too much, because the paper is getting kind of brittle. So we probably need to, that may be something that we may need to get carried somewhere that have it
Refresh that, yeah.
reprinted.
And I thought of something else too that was happening while we in the meeting. And I noticed, because I have been noticing, like some of the yards that we go through that have water meters in it, that you can't tell where the water meter is, that they've been running over so long. Maybe we can get something to put a marker where they meter is, so they won't keep running over those meters. Because I know this one lady had a lot of problems up here with that one meter in there. Because you know why? They kept driving over. And when you drive over that pipe like that, yeah, surely something's gonna happen. It's not gonna stay like that. But if we had some kind of style of saying, this is a water meter, this is a water meter, everybody would know where the water meter is at. They won't run over. I mean, that's just a suggestion that I came
Well,
up
like I
with.
said, a good idea, it's just doing it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just doing it. And that's a
Some
special
state
place
stuff.
where I know where you're talking.
Yeah.
They make driveways whatever they choose to make a driveway. So maybe it's something that we may, at certain places, is put up another piece of pipe high enough and paint it, even though they know where it's at, but we may have to do that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what has been on my mind. So, you must have to get stakes and put water meter on it, drive them in the ground. They'll know that's water. You don't run over.
And You gonna take that chill on?
I take it. Yeah.
Volunteering to go out there and put them out.
All minds clear?
It sounds like we just hadn't set a time, right, or a day for finding the shut-off valves, or how would that work, that, doing that? What would that entail,
Well,
the process?
We have a maintenance man that puts in, I've been having him to, whenever he get the time, to go and we locate these particular. Now, we located several of them on M5 Road, but we didn't do what we should have done. And that is, well, we marked them, but we marked them with low poles. So when they get ready to mow that road, the grass is this high. So they run over the mark. What I had already at one time proposed was get these fence posts, T-posts,
Mm-hmm.
and push and drive them in the ground, near that particular cutoff, and then try to paint it, our color, and then try to have it up at least around 5 foot up out of the ground. So when they get ready to mow it or something, they'll see it.
Is that Joseph Brown, not the maintenance man? Okay.
And,
Well, we do know where some of the cutoffs are.
oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Cool.
We actually, one of the main ones, especially Park Drive, is trying to locate those particular valves. But you at least gonna have to cut off on both sides, because we know water can come around, water can come all the way around, the way the system is set up. It's looped in, so you can't just cut off one valve, you're gonna have to cut off several valves to, now the only thing that we got on, we have the 2-inch line running from Park Drive over to coming up to 7th, going down to 7th. Now it's on one valve. You just cut off one valve, cut that 2-inch line off. But when you try to find it,
Do we have, let's just say hypothetically, we found all the cutoffs. Do we have those long things?
we got one. We're gonna get another one. The guy over there, now you could buy one of those, Quinn Main and Tower for $77. But in order to buy it in KU, you got to pay $142. So I didn't get it because if you can buy one for $77, why you pay $142
Right.
for the same time? Right.
Well, not the post drive, but the wrench, that 5-foot wrench that you have to turn. It's a big cutoff wrench.
Okay.
But that's that's what we'll use to when we find where these cutoffs at. Yeah, that's a nice fresh one.
On those poles and signs you was talking about putting up on the cutoff. See, I put up the signs at my job. We order them 10-foot poles. And what we do, I cut off about 3 foot of it at the bottom and hammer the 3 foot in the ground, and then just bolt the other part up to it. So, and that's high enough, That's 8 foot tall, just about. And I know what you're talking about on L Flat Road there when that grass gets tall. Cause I went back out and painted that one again for y'all, but a guy at my job mowed over it, but he didn't see it. Cause it was way down here, what I'm saying, the grass 8 foot tall, so. But yeah, them poles actually, and they, not the T-posts, because they're a little flimsy. If y'all ever go up where Sherry live at, right there on the corner, I put that sign up for Sherry that children that play. I brought it down from a job. And it was one of those 10-foot poles, and you can see how tall it is. Y'all just check it out and see it, pretty much. you can go from that one right there just to see what you need to do, you know.
Could y'all put them poles up for?
Hey, they ain't cheap, oh, they ain't cheap. I may get away with 1 or 2 every now, but hey, I'm telling you, yeah.
Okay. Because last time we talked about this was kind of like I got the sense that I wanted to make a video of it, getting it together. Is that
Oh,
something
with
y'all
the-
still are trying to
I
do?
got a book,
To go
man.
find the shut-off valves, or it's just kind of like more like an ongoing thing now?
Bring
You're
y'all
just kind of
book down
doing
there,
it kind of
they
as you
make
go,
all kinds of signs.
depending on Joseph Brown to go out there and find them.
Man, if we can get people that want to, then, I mean, let's go, you know? But, I think what Pastor was just saying is, we got a guy that can, you know, we can take the blueprint we have, say, hey man, this is where it's supposed to be, let's see. You know, we got somebody we can work with like that. And I'm sure there's not too many of them. How many cutoffs are we talking about? Maybe 5? A handful, or is this more?
You're talking, overall, I would say about 20 something.
Really?
You got a lot of cutoffs.
Really?
On various lines.
Street by street.
What?
Because you got 2 or 3 on each street. You got, where it starts up here on this corner, down to this next corner, there's another one, probably one in between there, over around the fire hydrant, there's 2 or 3 over there, so.
So each street, though.
Yeah,
Man, that's
yeah.
nice. That's
Yeah, and see, when they
That's
do
real,
it, when
man.
they first put them in, it was fresh.
mm-hmm.
But like I say, we didn't have a nameless person. So the rest of us were on jobs. So we didn't go around trying to really mark them.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything was working.
Yeah, it's fresh, brand new. Yeah.
You wouldn't have no leaks, you would everything running smooth. So you didn't, and the guys who were interested, they were going on the job every day. And so you just didn't bother.
Mm.
But over the years now,
Now it's time. Now,
yeah,
we got
now,
leagues.
now dirt done come over.
Yeah.
So it's more a difficult situation. But we do need to find them. And they need to be marked real well. Because like you say, if you really get some real bad leaks, it lasts for a length of time, then that means you got to come with me and try to cut everybody off.
Yeah. That's,
And go from there. So far, we never had to leave nobody off.
Too long.
Unless it's one house overnight.
yeah.
So, we rest.
Is there a good day to help with that? Like if you need help with going around and trying to find is that something that anybody can help do? Finding shut-off valves, or is that
Well,
something?
I mean, I suppose if anybody can take one of those, schematics, but I mean, it's a book, it's this wide, this
Wow,
way,
That's huge.
about this thick.
Mm.
Wow.
So, when you talk about anybody just.
They gotta know what they're looking at. Huh?
You gotta have
So we're referring to a book, and it's not like you're just going out there and that looks like it could be one. It's not like that. If there's a book and you refer to it,
Yeah,
okay.
And then you gotta try to locate what street you, in the book, what street you're dealing with,
Okay.
and try to find out what's marked on this schematic as to what it's supposed to be, what kind of layout, what kind of location, area,
So that's what Joseph Brown is doing. He's referring to that book.
as I give
We
it,
have it
as I
now.
give him the information.
So that's basically a totally you thing right now, right? As of now, it's referring to the schematics book. Okay, cause you're the only one who can understand it.
somewhat. I don't have all the full knowledge.
He got his credentials, he got his license on the wall.
But my license just covered the water that run through the pipe.
Okay.
Oh, man.
But I try to remember areas where they're supposed to be. But if you ever been construction, what people say is over here and you wasn't there,
Might not.
it might not be there. And the reason why I know that it's supposed to have been a valve and a sewer line supposed to came all the way up to 7th Street over here on 7th. I had a man who was digging over there for nearly a week
Nothing.
trying to find this valve that
Wow.
the book said was there.
Is it permissible to kind of like create your own that you can understand more, or do you like legally you have to stick to a certain
Well, if it's
format?
valves
You know what I'm
there,
saying?
You know.
The only thing about it is they're the ones supposed to draw up the schematic because they were paid to do it. They were paid to put the lines in. They were also paid to make sure that you had schematics for the whole entire city. Of course, and they were paid to do this. But everybody who's paid to do what they do, if you're not there watching them, there's very few honest people, y'all. You know, even today, people say they're working on your car, they change your spark plug. If you're not there to see whether they change your spark plug, they may not change 3 of your spark plugs out of an 8-cylinder car. You know, I mean,
So
you just go, you have to trust people, but people don't always do what they say.
So even though you're going off of the original book,
That's you, now you.
there are mistakes, even the original
It may not be there.
layout that may not be there. Wow. Can you get a refund?
No. But what we did do, we purchased a metal detector.
There you go.
We did purchase
There you go.
a pretty good metal detector. Of course, now you gotta remember now, it's a metal detector. They pick up whatever metal.
Whatever kind of metal.
It may be a quarter down there. You looking for a valve, this may shows you what water was. Now, I'm looking for some of the old quarters. They may be worth something, you know, but anyway, it's challenging.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's a tedious
It
because
is.
and then once you do find it, are you really gonna be able to set the wrench? You know what I mean? Like all these years,
We got one now.
you ain't gonna know if you.
Up here by this fire hydrant.
Do I got
Up here by the humbuckers. I done put transmission, no, not transmission, but I done put some diesel fluid, I put some everything on that.
Is it
Trying to
tight?
break that valve.
I'm
I ain't broke that valve yet.
Really?
That's what we
But
gonna
you
be
talking
looking at.
40 years.
We don't do.
And it's just some
So that's
rusty.
the thing you got to watch too, cause we able to break it loose and that pipe rust, that's where
Yeah.
everything's gonna be set out, and redone, yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
it's still been work to be done. Work to be done. Work in progress. It's still a work in progress.
Okay. How much do we pay Joseph? How much does he get paid?
$10 an hour.
He's paid $10 an hour.
That's cheap.
Yeah, it's pretty low.
Yeah, that's why he don't be wanting to do nothing.
Can you
I was like, come on, Brian.
That's cheap. That's
Yeah.
cheap. But now, you know, but it also boils down to what you're able to afford.
That's right. And just to pivot on that note, as we're talking about all these infrastructure repairs and like Pastor Vets being licensed, we need other young men licensed, but we don't have the money to pay these guys. What a dude gonna get licensed for what? So I can do what? Work for free? No. Nobody's doing it. So just to pivot to, that's why we're looking at a 501c3. That's why 501c3 is so important, because that'll pave the way for money for infrastructure, money to pay actual crew, actual team, you know. So, yeah.
Are you talking about for the water or like for what exactly?
I'm
I
talking
know
about
that-
for the development of the community.
Cause I know Park High Alumni, they got their own nonprofit that they started, right?
Well,
Or that's in progress.
well,
But
it's,
that's, you're talking about something different.
that's what I'm talking about. I'm
Okay.
saying so Park High is Park High is trying to get things developed for the entire community,
Okay,
not just this building. But I'm saying a 501c3 is gonna give us the actual financial means to take care of a lot of problems that we're discussing. Because this, we're talking about finding cutoff valves that have been in the ground for, like Pastor say, over 40 years. That's about to be a mess when we do find it. They're not just gonna crack open, oh, okay, we can cut it off. No, like you said, that may be a busted pipe, who gonna pay for that?
Yeah, you got some houses that used to be here that's not here, still have old water meters down there, you don't even know it like.
Well, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
We fixed a leak on one of them
Yeah.
that used to be.
Used to
But
be.
then, like I said, now that they'll be been in the ground for a long time, they'll get old.
Yeah.
So the pressure on that line after so long, and the gaskets and things that's hooked to that meter, after so long, then those gaskets will start getting hard. And then the next thing you know, this line will pop the loose from this old meter that's in the ground. But it's still water being lost if you don't go somehow or another fix it. So we were able to go and put a water cutoff that went on the meter on that line over there that's not being used, but yet to save water, you had to block it off. So, but you do what you got to do. But we haven't given up on it. We're still gonna look for these valves. We're still planning on doing what we can do.
so is that something we can expect to see more on the agenda as far as the development of getting a 501c, or how does that work?
That was just a side note I threw in there. That's really the Park High alumni business, but it's affecting what they're doing. It like they're not selfishly doing it. They have at the last meeting, they basically changed the name to even include the development of the city. So, which we have a meeting tomorrow night on that. But yeah, that's something that.
I guess that's why I'm asking, is because if it's going to start affecting or concerning the city more and more, then that's why I asked if it's going to be on the agenda or discussed in a public meeting.
The meeting's tomorrow night
Okay.
for all those details. That's a completely different thing. But what they're doing is going to help the city. You see what I'm saying? Their efforts are already helping the city because the paint that's on this building, like this building wasn't even looking this fresh.
Right.
That didn't come from the city. That came from Park High.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and they're working on like the leveling. Like it used to be a whole slope in there. That didn't come from the city. Like it was a slope when you walk to the restroom, you walk down. You know, all of that's been leveled off. That was Park High. You know, so.
But you can see, well, it just kind of, it's gonna start to get a little bit, there's some gray area there as far as like how much of this is going to be public knowledge or like, in other words, if somebody comes in and says, hey, I wanna know what's going on as far as like, how did the city pay for it? Or how, and you're like, oh, the city didn't pay for it. Okay, well, who paid for it? Can I get a records request about that? Similar to what Miss Angela Sutton, whatever, was asking about. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It
But
just gets a little bit of a gray area there. That's all I'm just
I
trying to
don't
get some
think that's a gray
clarification.
area. I think that's something like if somebody wants to know, they are welcome to come to the meeting that we have for Park High. That's not like an exclusive meeting. Like anybody could come and like they
Okay.
tell
So
in
that's
those
an
meetings.
open meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
Hey,
great. I
and
mean,
in
that's
those
a good,
meetings,
it's good to know.
the secretary tells where every penny is. You know, she gives account for everything. And that's the thing I didn't appreciate from Angela Sutton. She was trying to act like something wasn't accounted for, not knowing that, hey, Park High keeps gives a public account.
Is it an open
for
meeting
everything.
as in like subject to the Open Meetings Act? Because if that's the case, then don't they need to
No,
announce?
I'm saying
it?
it's an open meeting saying you don't
Like
have
they're
to be there to went to
voluntarily-
Park High, you can still come. That's
So they're
what I mean.
voluntarily opening it up?
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah, not like Open Meetings Act, like what we under right here.
Okay.
That's law, that's government.
Right.
Park High alumni is a group of people who graduated and
Okay.
say, man, we want to see good things happen.
Right, right.
So I don't understand why they even get attacked, but they do.
Well, I'm
But,
certainly not attacking.
No, no, no. Oh, but they-
I'm not
you
attacking
seen
them
the
at all,
emails.
and I've never attacked them. I never, I've always been supportive of what they're doing because I understand. I totally get it. What I'm trying to just say is like the distinction needs to be made so that everybody understands how it works. So that way.
So you
questions
are aware
are
that
asked,
Park
you know.
High is the reason why we're here, right?
Yeah, you're saying.
I'm
because
saying because of the school,
they're- Right.
here we are. So the school was founded in 1924.
Okay. Right. I'm aware
The
of the
city,
history.
okay, that's what I'm saying.
This
So,
used to be a school, and now it's an historical marker, but it's also owned by the city of Goodlow, the building, right? Okay.
Yes, yes.
So again, that's why I'm
yeah, I'm
saying,
trying to follow you. So it's owned by the city of Goodlow. What is it? Okay.
Okay. And so because it's owned by the city of Goodlow, and repairs are getting, remodeling is getting done and everything, it's a question of who's paying for it and all this, it's just basically keeping a record. And does the city or does the public have a right to know who's paying for the repairs and all that, or where the
If
money
they-
is coming
if
from?
they
That's
want
kind of
to.
where I'm getting at.
Yeah, if they
Yeah,
want
that's
to, if
nothing.
they wanna know.
And if they want to donate as well. But yeah, everything is, yeah.
No,
At those
nothing's-
meetings, you never heard Miss, our secretary go down the list and say, hey, well, you may not have. I don't know if you've been at the beginning of one of those meetings, but the secretary, if somebody makes a donation, she says, hey, such and such made a donation of X amount of dollars, such and such.
I've been to several of these meetings, and from what I can tell, they seem to be pretty transparent and have a lot of love for the
You know it.
community.
You
My
know
only
it.
question is, are they open or are they closed? Are they open to the public or not? I mean, that's basically what I'm asking, and how,
For sure.
They open to the
how
public.
involved are they with the
They
city
open
of
to the
Goodlow?
public.
Definitely open.
Yeah.
Definitely open, man. It's nothing but goodness. So they
It's
definitely
sort of like
open.
open record.
Come on.
It's sort of like open record. You can,
And I think that that's
Transparent.
good for the people to know.
yes, ma'am.
That way, there's no questions or suspicions or anything like that.
Yeah.
If the people want to know, they can simply come. They can go to the city or they can go to the office. They can ask. They can come to the meeting if they have any questions about what's going on. So
Yeah, it's definitely
that
open.
helps with trust. Is what I'm saying.
For the public record, I did try to attend one of those meetings and I was refused entry. Just want you all to know that.
When was our mayor?
You weren't, no.
I was gonna say, cause yeah, I've never known that.
I
Yeah.
wrote an article about it. She knows about it. She was there standing and watched and witnessed the interaction. I was refused entry into the meeting room.
Actually,
Just for the record.
actually.
On a Park High meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Because you canceled the city council meeting that day, and instead of the council meeting, you had the Park High alumni meeting. I was refused entry, and it's documented in my articles that everyone is pissed off about.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to start trouble. I'm just
No,
saying.
it's good. We passed this water on the
Oh
bridge.
yeah, well I'm just saying for the record, if I show up, am I going to be refused entry again?
Yeah, they did. They did.
Yeah, they did. So they did. So if I show up again,
We have tomorrow. We have
Yeah.
the meeting tomorrow. You can definitely show up.
They was letting you know that that wasn't a city council meeting.
No.
Because there
For
was
the
no
record,
notice up there.
for the record, I specifically said, oh, I would love to donate, and they said, oh, we don't want your money, we don't want you here. That's what they said, isn't it?
They said,
They said that.
They don't want your money.
Yeah, they said that. They said that. I said, I would
We
love to
wrote
write an
you
article
about
to
it.
try and attract donations.
Come on, bring that money out.
But I'm just saying, I'm not trying to interrupt the meeting. I'm just saying, you're saying it's open to the public. I was
sure.
refused entry.
But now I understand now why she's trying to. I get
Well,
it.
so-
That's
so you
where.
heard
Well,
that?
I wasn't,
So-
actually, I wasn't thinking, I was just thinking,
So it's a
that's great that
very,
he's mentioning
very,
that, but
very easy
I'm
question.
talking-
We have
If
a
I show up
meeting
tomorrow. Will
tomorrow.
I be allowed to enter? Will I
Come,
be
I'm gonna be
entered?
looking for you tomorrow,
All right.
and I'm
just
gonna be
making
and
sure.
I'm gonna be looking for who gonna shake you.
I'm just making
because,
sure.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
Cause we
she's
ain't
not
got nothing to
witness.
hide, baby.
She's not witness. She knows I'm not lying to start trouble. She saw it happen. So I'm
I'm
just
telling
like,
you, I ain't witnessed that, bro.
Well, that's
I ain't
good.
witnessed that. That was before my time.
This is why it's important to let people know the way things are going
They
right
had
now.
read a whole bunch of stuff that he had wrote on.
It was their intentions.
They had read the
It
whole
was,
bunch of
and I
things that he
understand that,
wrote in
but-
the article.
yeah.
And
But
he was
fact
talking
of the
about the
matter-
time on the clock, and he was
Yeah.
saying all that
Oh,
negative
yeah.
So
stuff.
they
Yeah,
was.
They had
people
so
just
they was
confused
upset.
their intentions.
I understand.
They-
I
they-
understand, but
Yeah.
still, I was a member of the public and I was refused entry.
When they
Right.
found
That's a
out
fact
who
of
he
the
was,
matter.
when they found out who
Right,
he was,
right.
they had read the articles that he wrote.
Yeah.
And when
So
they found
actually-
out who he was,
Which is
they
actually
was
worse.
upset with him.
Which is actually worse because he refused entry to a journalist. I'm just letting you know, it happened.
Yeah.
So if you're saying that this nonprofit is contributing to the city in a positive manner, great. I love that.
Oh,
But you
really?
need to actually let the public attend and be involved in those meetings. And
For sure.
actually, a lot of those information, Councilmember Torres is correct. A lot of that information is subject to the Open Meetings Act. So if a member of the public submits a records request for information that is tied up into the nonprofit somehow, that
Yeah.
is subject to it, you have to provide that information. If you don't, you're in trouble with the Attorney General. So it's not just saying just do whatever they want. We need to start tying into the city. Usually you can look at the city of Venice with their beautification.
This ain't the city of
nonprofit.
Venice.
But they got into a situation
No, I'm
where
just saying,
they
I'm just saying,
refused.
keep
They
it
got
about
into a
Goodlow.
situation where they
Keep it-
contracted
keep
with
it
a
about
nonprofit. They
Goodlow.
refused to
Just
provide
keep
open
it
records.
about Goodlow.
I know, but they refused to provide open records, and they got into a lawsuit. I'm just letting you know, this stuff is happening.
We'll chop it up here in a second. Council. Y'all minds clear?
Yeah, we better go.
We better go, before some rocks come out. Hey, Sterling, like I got my
We're
gun.
not throwing
Hey,
rocks around here.
well, hey, man.
I offer motion to miss come to close. Second,
I second that motion.
all in favor, meeting comes.